For the parents, I thought it might be interesting to get them on board a bit more through the newsletter, just writing articles and giving at-home hints. So I've done that a couple of times with hints for parents, but I haven't actually heard back from anybody. So I'm hoping that they've found them useful. If nothing else, I thought if the kids are going home and saying, "Oh, I really like GKR because it's this," at least the parents know, "Oh, okay. Oh, yes, that was that thing they read about in the newsletter." So it's been good to kind of publicise it a little bit in the newsletter. And at the end of the year, I thought it'd be useful to survey parents and see how they'd found the hints, and finding out which children are actually talking about the strategies when they take them home. So what I then did with my grade 5-6 students, and remember we're talking about really articulate kids who've got quite an extensive vocabulary. Generally, I mean not all children, but generally, what we then did, because I had to have a play with the interactive whiteboard, we put up the English continuum. And the children had previously been given a post-it with their reading level for term 2, their writing and their speaking and listening. And what we then did was discuss, well, if you're at 3.25 in term 2, have a look at what 3.5 is, and we then talked about what that actually meant, because that's in teacher language. Do you think you can get to 3.5 by the end of the year, or do you think you can get to 3.75? So it was really interesting doing it with the children, because they're going, "Oh, that's why you're doing so-and-so," or it made it really relevant for them to actually look at the continuum and work out, where they were and what they needed to where they needed to go. And some of them want to get to 4 by the end of the year. So I'm being really harassed to do conjunctions and pronouns and stuff by some of the boys because they want to get to level 4. So getting the kids to then set their own reading goals. So this is one child's goals. In reading, I'm currently at 3.25. I'd like to get to 3.75. So that's a pretty big jump. And what she wants to be able to do is to interpret. So this is her language. I've just typed it up. She wants to be able to interpret more difficult types of text. She wants to understand how authors put the print and electronic text together. She wants to get better at inferring. She wants to be able to predict what a text will be about. She wants to answer the might questions because she's struggling with the might questions. She wants to get better at understanding stereotypes and the inferring. So what it's done for the children in the 5-6, and I wouldn't do this with preps, or maybe some of our preps are reading at level 30, I might, but what it's done for the 5-6s is to make it really explicit. They've chosen what they can see they need to learn, and it makes more sense than what we're doing in the classroom. So some of the quotes, which I thought were really cute. I think GKR makes it easier to read an unfamiliar text. Answering the questions helps them to think more deeply. Looking at unfamiliar vocab and using their MMR means that they've learnt lots of new words. And they particularly like the fact that they can go home and use words that some of their parents don't know. And summarising helps me to stick things in my head. And that was kind of information from quite a few children when we're doing that more metacognitive reflection stuff, that helping to put things in their head and then be able to find it again, because some of the kids were finding it hard. They had filed the information away and then didn't have it in a place where they could find it again. So some of them have actually found it fun to be reading really difficult texts, and that's been really nice. The visualising helps my brain to process things, which was it's kind of funny how they put things, but it makes sense because it helps you to understand why you should keep on doing it. I really like reading my own writing aloud as it helps me to edit my errors. And where to next? Because there's only one learning leader in our school, and we've obviously got, we don't have quite the funding that perhaps some of the schools who obviously need the funding have. So, and we've only really been doing this for term 3, the literacy walk to all classrooms so that we can see what's going on and celebrate achievements with everybody. Teachers visiting each other's classrooms to observe and provide positive feedback, but after hearing what some people are saying, maybe they should be getting more critical positive feedback. Learning leader to go into all classes to do the modelling, and the principal AP and learning leader to visit all classrooms to promote positive feedback. Thank you very much, and I'll just get a hand up.